Now we're in the temple of aesthetic intelligence and beauty. Here is where you romanticize your life. It is the mother archetype or summer season of your cycle. In the body, estrogen and testosterone are at their highest peak. Progesterone also rises, but not as high as in the next phase, in the luteal phase. This is when you're ovulating. So day 13 through 21. I know when I'm ovulating, when I feel the most magnetic. Um, our mood is we feel confident, optimistic, fun, and loving attitude. We have extrovertedness. We're happy and like I said, magnetic. You'll start to notice your hair and your skin looking extra glowy. You ever take those selfies or you look back at your selfies and you're like, how did I do my makeup like that? And you try it and it's not the same. It's probably because you were ovulating in that selfie. Or you're like, how did my hair look? How could I do my hair that looks like that? Like, I looked so good in that selfie. Why doesn't all my other selfies feel good or look good? It's because that essence, because you were ovulating, most likely. Um, Here, you'll start to notice that you take things less personally. You're happy to be seen. You have that lucky girl syndrome, like everything works out for you. You're attracting new clients, attracting new things, maybe guys are hitting you up during this time, during these few days. It actually really did happen to me for a while. I'm like, oh, I must be ovulating. And it is. It's like, and it's not like I like see them. They just hit me up randomly. Um, you're captivating in any situation. Drama doesn't phase you, and you feel like you can do anything. So, as far as planning out, you know, that my temple, like what I need to do in my temple, what that looks like in the temple of aesthetic intelligence and beauty, I I would do courses like this. I would record. I would schedule workshops. Like if I'm gonna do a speaking event or anything, I will schedule it while I'm ovulating as best as I can. It's not always going to be that way. And I'm always going to do like different workshops at different phases of my cycle, but you can definitely tell like when you're ovulating once you get into knowing yourself, right? So, in the realm of self pleasure, this is your wet phase. Yeah, yeah. Libido is high. Verbal and social centers of the brain are active. You can use fantasies. You can go on a date, like that last temple, the creative intelligence and beauty when you're in your follicular phase. You maybe have planned a date for you while you're ovulating. Yes. Pleasure comes easiest during this phase. This is, if you notice, this is like the shortest, the littlest information because it's like it's little information, but at the same time, it's so apparent and it's easy. And when you're just in it, you're in it. When you're ovulating, you're like, oh, she's so glowy. Or like, oh, she looks extra attractive today. It's like, she must be ovulating. Yeah, because you are. So, like I said before, though, if you are somebody, because I've had clients like this before, if you're somebody who, when you're ovulate, you kind of want a hermit, you kind of want to stay away from the world, things like that. That's totally fine as well. That just means that when you're ovulating, maybe your temple is of a spiritual intelligence, right? And then when you're on your bleed, you could be in the temple of aesthetic intelligence and beauty. It's the same thing when girls sync their menstrual cycle to the moon. Some people have their bleed on full moon and ovulate in the new moon, things like that, or it can be flipped. But just know wherever you're at is perfectly fine. There is no rules to this. This is just fun and guides, right? This is your cycle, so you get to say. But I notice I cultivate more beauty in during my ovulation. Also, some ovulation, it's only 3 days. Some are like doesn't last that long. So it's known that ovulation is not doesn't last as long as the luteal phase, which we'll be into next. We'll go into next. Also, while I'm here, if there's anything that stuck out to you, or you can leave comments in this section as well during each lesson. And by the way, you can also come back to these courses, like to these lessons, when you are in those phases, when you're inside, when you're moving through your cycle. This could be a point of reference. Okay? I'm going to give you more practices to take home later and to start utilizing if you're feeling called to later. But I just wanted to let you know that we can share.